How does it feel to be American? How you feel to be American?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
A lot of people don't like us, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately,
A lot of them have good reasons.
I feel like a lot of people used to like us, but now they don't like us.
Yeah. How do you feel we were represented tonight on television? Because there was a pretty big program on television tonight.
The
The
debate,
the debate, the big old debate
pretty good.
between
Political.
Kamala and Donnie. How did you feel? How do you feel we were represented as a nation?
Whew, whew, whew.
That's a heavy question, right?
Yeah. Wow. 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 A lot of interesting shit from both sides. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but from one side, particularly, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
What was some of the standout moments for you?
bro, fuck. To keep it to one question, like, how do you feel like it represented us?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Interesting. I feel like it was better, a lot better than the last one.
I agree with that.
I'll
for
give it
sure.
that. A lot
I
better
agree
than the
with
last
that.
time. I feel like I definitely liked, to just keep it straightforward, Harris's chances definitely after this debate.
I do think that
She seemed
she
more
helped herself.
composed. She seemed more definitely like, as you can probably call it, more as a presidential candidate than fucking Trump was, and how he was acting and how he was
Mm-hmm.
straight up lying, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say, if you want to go straight into the topics, bro.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like not even controversial anymore because like they're telling him as he's saying shit like, "Hey,
He
like this
says the
is it."
same things though. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
he's my friend. This is my friend. I know him.
Yeah,
I
man.
would if I was president, this would have not happened. It's all the
Yeah.
same shit, bro."
Yeah, man. Nah, I mean, I don't think it was a great performance from Trump. Obviously, like I'm not a big fan of his personally, so I'm going into it with my own personal bias. But even then, like I was able to look at the previous debate with Biden and be like, oh yeah, like he wiped the floor with Joe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm not a fan of Trump, but like here, it definitely felt a lot more like you were saying, like Kamala was a lot more assertive, a lot more sharp, just very quick to kind of jump on a lot of the crazier points he was making, kind of calling out
Yeah.
for that shit. Like it was a strong performance from her, and I do think that overall at this point, so late into the election cycle, like we're less than 2 months away from election day, I feel like most people probably have a pretty good idea of who they're voting for, if not entirely have their minds made up. But there is that small but significant group of voters that are like still undecided. And I think that for those people who saw tonight, I would just have to assume and have to guess that a lot of those people would have been swayed towards
More.
Kamala just off the strength of, like you're saying, like just the strength of the points she was making, the fact that she was able to stay more composed. Just I think she showed a lot more maturity.
Not
She
say
looked
some
more
outrageous
professional.
shit.
Nah, I mean there was definitely some stuff that like I feel like she could have been a bit better on, like just to try and be fair about it. Like
The
if
Palestinian
I was a Trump supporter, like the things that would have annoyed me was the fact that like the moderators were certainly very quick to call out Trump on the shit where he was lying,
the
which
fact
I
checking.
think they
Yeah.
need to, but they not that like Kamala would lie, but when she would kind of duck a question, they wouldn't like press her as much for
They
an
wouldn't like try
answer,
to fucking.
which like definitely would piss me off if I was a Trump supporter for sure. Like there was one of them that stuck out to me a lot. Like they had asked her pretty straight up like if she had ever met Vladimir Putin,
Yeah.
and she like started going into a whole thing about all the stuff she tries to do to like
Help
be a
Ukraine,
supporter of
yeah.
Zelensky and stuff like that, the president of Ukraine, which like she just avoided completely the like actual direct question that was asked of her. And so stuff like that I could definitely see like where some of the Republican frustration is coming from. But I think overall if you're being objective about it at all, you got to come away from that and think that Kamala was the winner of the night. It's just, it is what it is. And I mean, the statistics back it up. I don't know if you know this, but there's a huge betting market for the presidential election.
Are you for real?
A hell of people gamble on that shit.
No
and it's
way.
actually like a really good, not perfect, but it's a great, it can be a good litmus test of like where we're at. And like basically a lot of people who like really look into the shit and analyze it will be betting on that shit. So it just is a good indicator of kind of the public perception on shit. And over the course of the night, Harris gained like 3%.
No, yeah.
Over the thing, and she went from like I think 44 to like 47%, something along those lines.
Yeah.
So I think Trump still has like a slight majority on the betting market, but overall, like you would have to say that tonight was a big win for her. I saw that she was apparently looking to have another debate with him. So that'll be interesting to see if they end up scheduling that. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen. I think it's an interesting strategy because, like, she pretty, like, defiantly won this round. So if she wanted to just leave it there, I feel like that would be smart. But at the same time, I feel like there also is a sense that, like, the more she could get herself on TV talking next to him, the more I think those kind of like middle ground undecided voters will realize that like she's just a more logical candidate. So I don't know, like it was a strong performance. I feel like, so it's funny, right after it happened, I was getting the sense throughout the whole debate, throughout the whole hour and 45 minutes or so that it ran to, that like Kamala was winning pretty for sure. Like it felt pretty hands down. Mm-hmm. And so the first thing I wanted to do after it ended was I changed the channel over to Fox News, the like most Republican channel, because I wanted to see how they were taking it. And there was a couple of them like that were going very hard on the moderators and trying to make that the whole narrative, that like Trump didn't get a fair chance at it basically. But even then, like the people who are actually talking about kind of the debate itself, it felt like most of them were acknowledging at the very least that Trump could have done better, and some of them were outright saying that like Kamala had a very strong performance. And these are the Republican fools on Fox News saying all this shit. So it felt like overall, even the most hardcore Republicans at the very, very least are disappointed with Trump's performance because they know that there were certain talking points. Like I saw one of the big ones is that I think a lot of Republicans are tired as fuck of this fool saying he didn't lose the last election. Because Joe Biden has been president for 4 years. So, like, literally, whether or not you feel like you won or lost that shit, like, that's been the... Like, he served his entire term almost at this point. And you're still saying, like, oh, it was rigged, it was stolen. Like, that's one of the things that... on purpose, I feel like we've seen him talk less and less about over the last few months as he's been campaigning. But then she kind of tricked him into like going back in on it, and the David Muir, the moderator, asked him about it as well. Just and so he ended up kind of like falling back on it and going in on it again. And like that was one of the things I saw some Republicans saying, like, just why are you still talking about this shit? Like we should be focusing on the 2024 election, not talking about how the last one was fucked up. Like, it just, I don't know, man. Like, why are you reminding everyone you lost, you know? Like, it's just not good strategy. So there's just certain things he does that, like, I feel like his ego and his emotion gets the better of him sometimes, and he allows things to become bigger deals than they should be because he doesn't want to let certain shit go. He's too petty. Like, in politics, that's one of the things that I feel like is really important, is just, like, letting a story die and moving on for the sake of bettering your career in the media and in politics in general.
But he does not drop shit.
And he just doesn't know how to let it go, man. He is such a fucking...
But it's the smallest things that remind him, because I'm pretty sure she brought it up, like, because she was just talking about the January 6th shit, no? Was it January 6th? Or... And then I think she was saying that you were president at the time, and she was like, "Oh, it's because I lost," and that's how he started talking about. So it was like literally not even she wasn't even really directly kind of saying that, "Oh, fucking you lost" or whatever. She literally said you were president at that point or whatever, and then Nafus himself started talking about the loss and shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know, man. Me personally, like, this is just my own personal opinion. I find it very, very, very hard to rationalize how you can be a Trump voter at this point. And can I be honest?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, looking back at the original time when he won in 2016, that was the only election where, as much as I still was not a fan, there's some things that I got it because he was an unknown quantity, and a lot of people were just fucking sick and tired of the same old bullshit career politicians who are gonna keep doing the same shit. Trump, from the outside looking in, like, once you do some research, you realize he's not actually that good of a businessman. But if you just hear the name Donald Trump, you think, oh, he knows business,
Yeah.
he's got money, you know, he doesn't
Successful.
take shit, you know, like, he seems like the type of guy that on paper, yeah, like, he might shake up the system a bit, and that could be good for politics overall. I could genuinely have understood that in 2016. We saw a Trump presidency. Nothing really got any better. Nothing changed. And if anything, we've seen him just slip more and more into this weird conspiracy theory land that he lives in now, where, like, he's just lost the fucking plot, dude. And so at this point now, I just don't understand a Trump voter anymore. Like, I don't know, man. Like, if you just really truly believe that he's gonna make the economy that much better, I guess, you know, fair enough. We can agree to disagree. But yeah, man, he just overall feels like this is not the same Donald Trump that was able to win a presidency in such truly, like, as much as I don't like the guy, it has to be acknowledged from a political standpoint. His initial win in 2016 was one of the most remarkable things that's ever happened in American politics. Fucking a dude with no political background, got a million different reasons to be canceled, is like just a generally unlikable human being.
Becomes the leader.
And becomes the president. Like, that's insane. That is something to be in some ways applauded. As again, like, I don't like the fool, but you gotta say, like, fuck, like, you did that. That's crazy. You did that. This is just not the same Donald to me, though, bro. Like, it's not. I genuinely, like, as a Democratic voter, came away from the debate feeling quite a bit more confident, honestly. And not only that, but, like, a bit more confident in Kamala, too, because my thing is, like, I'm not just trying to be content with, like, oh, as long as we win and Trump loses, it's all good. Like, I want whoever the Democrats put into office to actually be a good president. Because let's be real, the Biden presidency has been underwhelming in a lot of ways. Hasn't quite delivered on as many promises as we'd hoped. And I just feel like she looks to be a more... I keep coming back to, like, assertive, the word that keeps coming to my mind. Like, she just feels like... she's just a good speaker, you know. She brings me more confidence generally.
She'll be like a really good, like, worker type of president.
I'm hoping so. It feels like she's really focused on understanding the fact that, like, if you're a middle class or lower class American right now, your life has become exponentially harder since COVID. Like, just inflation and all these other shit. Like, if you're not a rich person, your life has become a lot tougher, and you're having to cut back in different ways, and just making ends meet has become too hard.
Not even in that manner. I feel like she's gonna be like one of those presidents where she's like not gonna be like very doing like a lot of like fucking. Of course, she's gonna be in the media and shit, but she's gonna be more in the office getting shit done.
But that's what I'm saying, though, is that, like, I feel like her whole campaign and a lot of what I've heard her said has been focused on the fact that, like, the simple fact of just making it in America as just a regular average Joe, just working your job, making, like,
hard
one income households and families and shit, not even being able to make it in America anymore. Like, it seems like she's very aware of the fact that that's a problem, and I'm hoping that will be something that gets genuinely addressed if she's able to win. But I mean, it's I'll tell you what, man. It truly is a fucking coin flip right now. Like, it's so split like it from all the data I've looked at from whatever I've seen at the moment.
I've seen that shit too.
It is dead ass so fucking split. And I'll tell you what, like, this is gonna be one of the most interesting election cycles. Yeah. And we've only got less than 2 months left. Like, we are getting into prime time election season.
Because it's definitely not when it was Trump versus Hillary, because you kind of already knew Hillary's gonna fucking lose. As much as you want to deny it, but like...
Hillary was the heavy favorite at that point in 2016. Are you talking about Biden?
No, I'm talking about when...
Back Trump, in the day?
When Trump first got
when he won? Nah, bro, Hillary was the favorite.
Bro, I feel like... Didn't Trump won by like a lot?
He won by a decent margin, but not crazy. It was... Bro, Hillary was like, all the political spectators, all the... Everyone... Because, bro, like I said, he was such an unknown quantity, like... People honestly thought she was gonna wipe the fucking floor with him, low key. Cause, bro, she's Bill Clinton's wife. Like, just having the name Clinton is worth, like, a lot of votes and shit. Like, she was supposed to be an easy win over Donald Trump. When that happened, bro, I'll never forget. We were in high school. I stayed up that night watching the fucking news in my room that night.
Yeah, I remember.
And dude, like, just after state was going his way, and I was stunned. And everyone on the news was stunned. Like, it was shocking, bro. It really was shocking. I feel like the one with Biden was a bit more 50-50, but even then, I think people kind of expected Biden to win because people were just over Trump. People wanted anything but Donald Trump to be president. And so Biden was kind of expected to win. This one is the first election in Trump's political career where I think it's like a serious fucking, like, if we simulated this shit 100 times, it's like 52-48 type of shit. Like, and it goes either way. Like, it's so close right now. And what that means is that this next 6 to 7, 8 weeks that we have left, so crucial. Like, any big mistakes either campaign makes can really make the difference. Like, not even them specifically, but people around them. Like, bruh, there's going to be a lot of pressure on all of these folks right now to fucking bring this shit home. Because who knows, man? Like I said, most people, I think a vast majority of Americans, especially because we've seen Trump be president, we know what that's like. We've seen Kamala be vice president, we know what she's like, kinda. They're both pretty known quantities to where most voters already came into this shit knowing where they're going. Yeah. But that people in the middle, because it's so close, whatever happens in this next month to 2 months that can kind of swing them either way, that really could make the whole fucking difference. But I'm telling you, this shit's going to be fascinating. Mm-hmm. And not only the election itself, but the fallout afterwards. I mean, we saw what happened last time.
Yeah, literally.
Trump lost and caused a fucking riot at the Capitol. So, yeah, bro, I mean, it's a wild time to be an American. Yeah, man. I just felt like we had to touch on it a bit because that shit literally happened today. Like, obviously we don't talk about politics all the time, but this is like, we're in that time where if you're an American and you're an adult, this is truly the time to be paying attention to politics. I know that a vast majority of Americans really don't care too much. And because most people are just trying to live their lives and make it on a day-to-day basis. Most people aren't weird like me and are like watching the news. Like, most people don't watch the news. But I kind of, like, I'm a journalism major, so I'm watching the news and shit. Yeah. This is, like, the time to be watching the news and actually paying attention to shit. And, like, especially if you feel like you're kind of on the fence about shit, like, this is the time to be fucking dialed in. I mean, it's a crazy-ass time to be a fucking American. I will say that. And,
interesting time to be an American.
I mean, bro, the fool got shot in the fucking ear.
Bro, that's fucking
Biden wild. Dropped out this shit. She running. It's... This episode of America has been ridiculous.
This episode of America, literally, bro.
Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Park, bro. It's like one of the ones where the writers are just fucking trolling. Fucking, like, can we just get a chill ep? I just want to chill. I want a fucking filler arc.
What?
America.
I'm doing what?
Exactly. Like, you know, I know you're a DBZ fan.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes Gohan and Piccolo and them just, like, cooling. Like, they probably just training, working on their Kamehamehas or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, fuck, yeah.
Like, plotting on, like, oh, fuck,
Yeah, dog.
which ball should we try to find next? Like,
Which
that
ball,
one or
yeah.
that one?
Yeah, that one, bro.
Like, and then, you know, sometimes that it just ends up being, like, kind of a little run of, like, maybe 4 episodes or
Yeah,
something
bro.
where it's, like, nothing really changes.
I know what you're saying,
majorly.
but what do you want? What would be filler arc in America, bruh?
Just something fucking chill where we're not, like, potentially
What
going to
would be
World War III and fucking pandemics and crazy inflations and fucking just craziness all the time.
We had a break with the Olympics with the United States basketball team. Everybody was fucking going crazy, I guess.
That's not what I'm talking about, bro. That's not.
What do you want, bruh?
Like, Obama's second term. Like, his first term, because we was still really trying to find Osama. Shit was really crazy. But, like, Obama's second term was mostly chill. There was some little shit here and there he'll have to deal with. And, like, look, obviously his record on certain shit with the wars we were doing at the time isn't spotless. But overall, for most Americans' day-to-day life, all this other shit, turning on the news wasn't, like, a crazy event. It's not like, oh, what crazy, wild thing is being said today. That's what I'm talking about. Like, Obama's second term was high-key, just like a filler arc. And that's what I'm talking about. We need a 4-year presidency where, like, a good couple years of that presidency, there's just no crazy... We've been having too much history book material. Does that make more sense? Like, can we just have a moment where for a few years, nothing's
like,
gonna get
peace and
added to the
harmony,
textbooks for the
fucking
next
this is
generation
working,
of high
everything's
school
working, bro. I
kids?
feel like that's gonna take a minute, bro.
You said what?
There's like peace and harmony, everything's going good, fucking the groceries are not this.
Well, I'm not even saying full peace and harmony because obviously some countries in the world are always feeling
But not even that, but like
shit that don't involve us though. Like, can we just be chilling? If y'all beefing, that's cool.
I feel like you're talking. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like personally, like the fucking economy and shit like that. Like, bro, but yeah, it's gonna take a minute, especially we're not gonna get that shit right now, bro.
Fuck.
I guess that's why we have to vote to try to start going towards that.
Bruh. I hope people vote.
For whatever side you believe.
Yeah. True.
That's your right, bro. That's your right.
I haven't even really considered the fact that, like, we could endure another 4 fucking years of Trump, yo. Ooh, boy. Well.
Like he said, he's gonna kill him at the border, bro. He's gonna execute him, bro. If it's your second time.
Ay. Another episode of the Eli and Louise show.
Yep. Crazy way, bro.
What a fucking time.